Hello and welcome to our first episode here of this new program on Nile International, and it's called Nile TV Memory. I'm Yasmin Bakir. Every episode on our weekly basis, we're going to be bringing you a different story concerning the long, very fruitful history and broadcasting for this very, very outstanding channel, Nile TV International. Now, it is distinct. It is also a unique and a different channel which has a very fast tempo. It's interested in the smallest details and it checks every piece of information and every single word. Its approach is transparency and it is committed to credibility. It is also a very young channel. It is a bright star in the media sky, and it is the ambassador of the Egyptian media, and particularly it is the Egyptian state media coming to you all the way from Maspero here on the banks of the River Nile. It is the Egyptian channel Nile TV International, the voice of Egypt to the entire world.
Stand by.
Nile TV is broadcasting.
Shines on.
Welcome to this edition of Melodies. There's one more thing I want to tell you about.
Now, one of the programs that have a very special taste, and it's also very rich in its content. It's called the Star of the Month. Now, it was a program that shedded lights on the stars of the Egyptian society in various fields, name it a political perspective, economic, artistic, and even sports, throughout the month in the form of a distinctive newsfeed. The program was presented by Taghrit Hussein, who is currently the head of Nile TV International channel.
In the arts field this month, many events actually took place, both locally and internationally. On the local scene, we have a very important event, the Children's Song Festival, which has been held here for the first time in Egypt. We have many countries participating and sending their children as representatives for this important and nice event. Also, we have contacts being made nowadays, preparing for the Love and Tourism Festival, expected to be held in September by 1999. And we have contacts made with famous popular stars like American international movie star Leonardo DiCaprio and Canadian famous singer Celine Dion to participate and take part in this nice celebration. And we have also a celebration was made to honor the king of the Egyptian cinema, Farid Shawqi, and his works and also his rare photographs. These are just the events that happened on the arts field. Let's see together People's Choice of the Hero.
I think one of the main events in the field of art is something to do with restoration. Of course, restoration also is a kind of art. And I think, although of course it didn't happen this month, but the last month, the restoration of the Sphinx was a kind of art, you know, because this is very important for us as Egyptologists and also as Egyptians, you know, locally and internationally. So I think this kind of important event within the last few weeks to see that the restoration at last of the Sphinx is done in the proper way. Of course, we have to thank everybody that tried to restore the Sphinx. And whenever we work, we make mistakes. So if there have been some mistakes, and now within the development in the field of restoration, I think what happened in Abu Hol is really good, and we appreciate that. So we guarantee now that the Sphinx is in a good shape and it is lasting forever, inshallah.
The loss of Najah al-Mugi is one of the very important events that can occur, and really I like this man a lot, and I followed him and his art. Despite that, he started when he was a bit elder than the other actors that start usually a bit younger than this. though he presented himself and proves himself in the situation of presenting good art in theater or in cinema or elsewhere.
The explosive success of Mohammed Hinidi and his latest film that is now present in 41 cinemas in Egypt for the first time in history. No other Egyptian film stayed in 41 cinemas, and this is a very exciting thing to happen, and I think he should be the star of the month this month.
Mohammed Hinidi is the star of this month. I like his new film so much, and I think regardless the comic point of view, it has a political point of view, I think.
It is a program that was directed by Mohammed Gharib. It follows all the news around the world concerning cinema, the movie race, the box offices, what's the top 10, what are the best movies, the ratings and the profits that have been made from this specific movie, all brought up together in one interesting program.
It's time to sit back and relax because you are about to watch clips from two exciting films, and as usual, interviews with your favorite actors and actresses and the filmmakers. Today we are going to talk about Office Space, directed by Mike Judge, and Ed TV, directed by Ron Howard. Let's begin first with Office Space, and you can guess it's Mr. Peter Gibbons, who is Ron Livingston's attitude about his job as a computer programmer. He simply cannot endure another moment of the mind-numbing, soul-sucking routine and petty annoyances that assault him day after day at work.
Where do you work, Peter?
In a tech.
And yeah, what do you do there?
I sit in a cubicle and I update bank software for the 2000 switch.
What's that?
Well, see, they wrote all this bank software, and to save space, they used 2 digits for the date instead of 4, so like 98 instead of 1998. So I go through these thousands of lines of code, and it doesn't really matter. I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm gonna go anymore.
You're just not gonna go?
Yeah,
Won't you get fired?
I don't know. But I really don't like it, and I'm not gonna go.
So you're gonna quit?
Nuh-uh, not really. I'm just gonna stop going.
When did you decide all of that?
About an hour ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
About an hour ago. So you're gonna get another job?
I don't think I'd like another job.
What are you gonna do about money and bills and...
You know, I've never really liked paying bills. I don't think I'm gonna do that either.
Well, so what do you want to do?
I want to take you out to dinner. And then I want to go back to my apartment and watch Kung Fu. Do you ever watch Kung Fu?
I love Kung Fu.
Channel 39.
Totally.
You should come over and watch Kung Fu tonight.
Okay.
The story is, it's about a guy who goes to work, goes home, goes to work, goes home, and one day sort of decides that there probably should be something else. If there isn't something else, that at least he could maybe not do any of this stuff anymore.
The main character is a guy who's having, he's 28 and he's having kind of a midlife crisis early, of realizing that it's not going to get any better than this, and he sees what's happening to older people in the company, and the company's downsizing, and things kind of get worse and worse for him, and he kind of snaps, and then finds ultimately what he thinks is a little bit better life. And it's a comedy, actually.
You know, she's a little bit of a stoner chick. Kind of takes life as it comes. And I think she's just intrigued by that. That's sort of who she is, because she meets him in a hypnotic state, as, you know, he's in a hypnotic state. So he's kind of at the level that she is always, you know? So they kind of have a really nice connection when they finally meet. And that's why it's so instant.
Go ahead and grab a seat and join us for a minute or two. You see, what we're actually trying to do here is we're trying to get a feel for how people spend their day at work. So if you would you walk us through a typical day for you?
Yeah.
Great.
Well, I generally come in at least 15 minutes late. I use the side door. That way Lumberg can't see me. And after that, I just sort of space out for about an hour. Till I'm
Space out?
Yeah, I just stare at my desk. But it looks like I'm working. I do that for probably another hour after lunch, too. I'd say in a given week, I probably only do about 15 minutes of real, actual work.
It was the first cartoon I did. It was called Office Space, and it was just a 2-minute short, and it had this character Milton and his boss, and it's just him at his desk and the boss coming in and making him move his desk and taking his stapler. And I really did it just to learn how to do lip sync. I was figuring this all out myself. I had a little Bolex camera, and I was just did this as a way to learn, teach myself how to make an animated short film.
Now, one of the most important works on screen is the documentary works. Here and through this program, when we reflect back on the memory of Nile TV, we will be bringing you every week a different documentary form and shed light on it. Let's take a look.
Today, I'm catching up with a small group of safari travelers who have been moving from one oasis to another in the Western Desert. I'm 750 kilometers or 465 miles southwest of Cairo, looking at the lush green date groves and gardens of Dakhla Oasis. It's the largest and most populous of the Egyptian oases after Fayoum, with more than 700 natural springs, lakes, and ponds. 7,000 years ago, the climate here was similar to that of the African savanna. Buffaloes, elephants, rhinos, and zebras wandered around the shores of a big lake on whose banks primitive man had settled to herd his goats and cattle. Our group was camping here last night to enjoy the spectacular view of thousands of stars shining in the dark, clear sky of the desert. They came a long way from home to experience the primitive kind of life the desert can offer and to listen to the sound of silence as far as possible from modern life and its complications. These safari vehicles were designed and equipped to fit the Egyptian desert tracks, and the tents provide a safe sleep for those who worry about insects which hardly exist here.
So, is this your first time in Egypt? Yes, it's the first time.
First time. How did you hear about this trip in the desert?
We read about it in a brochure.
Yeah, in a brochure.
It's travel for only young people.
It's a travel agency.
Yes, yes,
Only for young people.
yes.
So you decided just to come and make adventures here in our desert.
Yes, and see the many beautiful places in Egypt.
Oh, I see. So what did you see in Egypt till now?
We see Cairo,
Yeah.
the pyramids,
Yeah.
and Aswan.
You saw Aswan?
No, in a few days we
You
are
will
in
see.
Aswan.
I see.
Yes.
Which oasis you like the most till now in the Western Desert?
Dakhla here.
Dakhla, here, right here. What do you like about the desert?
Oh, it's so big and beautiful.
You think it's beautiful?
Yes,
I see.
yes.
We have plenty of it, as you see. Tell me, where are you going later? Aswan? Just Aswan?
Luxor,
Luxor?
Nuweiba.
Nuweiba, on the Red Sea.
Yes.
Oh. Sinai? Are you going to see Sinai?
There too. And
Which St.
Catherine Monastery.
That's right, St. Catherine Monastery.
Yes.
And the Mountain of Moses.
Yes.
It's a religious area in
Uh-huh.
Sinai. So how long the total amount of days you're spending in Egypt?
22 days.
22 days! It's quite an adventure. 22 and the first time for you.
Yes.
Well, do you think after the end of your tour in Egypt, do you think that you'll ever think of coming back to see something, or you think you had enough?
No.
No?
We come back.
You'll come back. I see. Perhaps you'll take some sand to show your friends back in Germany from here or something.
Yes.
Well, I hope that you've enjoyed your staying till now,
Yes.
without water. And I hope that you come back to Egypt.
Okay.
It's time now to pack. And packing starts by collecting all the mattresses and rugs and sleeping bags. As for luggage, our travelers like to travel as light as possible. Those colorful rugs are called kalims in Arabic. They are handmade and could be very helpful in safari.
And particularly myself, living abroad, we would always remember a very different and unique program indeed. Back in the days, it was called Nile DJ. And it's one of the programs which has left great impact in the world, to be very honest and frank, particularly in the world of entertainment, where people waited for it every week to not only listen to their favorite entertainment part or song, but also dedicate it and get to interact with the presenters who were hosting this program. And it was presented by, of course, prominent Riham Sahli, and we chose for you the segment of this program for today.
Hello and welcome to a new edition of Nile DJ, and let's start straight away with Hani Sheker from Egypt, as they call him the Prince of Arab music. And let me tell you something about this song. The song is called El Mafrood. Now, let me tell you something. We all know that relationships are not always doomed to continue. So, you can never tell if a relationship between two people in love is going to end the happy ending, you know, marriage and so on, or not. So, when you go into a relationship, you cannot always expect it to work out. However, it's okay if things don't work out and if people go different ways. However, it's never okay when you give too many big, huge promises when you are not sure that you can really keep those promises. It's okay to say I love you and so on. However, don't give too many big promises unless you are damn sure that you're going to keep them. This is exactly what Hani Sheker is trying to say in El Mafrood.
المفروض إن إحنا الاتنين كان بينا أماني وكانت بينا وعود، إن إحنا الاتنين ياما قلنا لا يمكن هتفرقنا حدود. ليه قلتلي عشقك بجنون؟ ليه تخدعني؟ ليه بتخون؟ ليه بتحب مدام هتبيع؟ ليه نحلم والحلم يضيع؟ ليه تحلفلي وبتوعدني وتقرب لي وتعودني وبترغمني وبتأيدني بحب ملوش أساس وجود؟ ليه 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 ليه؟ ليه تخدعني وليه توهمني وليه بتسيبني أعيش مخدوع؟ أملى حياتك حب وفرح وتملى حياتي جراح ودموع. عايش تاني في الوهم سنين، رحلة حب وشوق وحنين. كانوا عيونك ليه خاينين؟ كان قلبك وضميرك فين؟ ليه تحييني وتموتني؟ ليه تبنيني وليه هدتني؟ ليه شدتني وليه خلتني امشي معاك في طريق مسدود؟ ليه 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 ليه؟ ليه القلب الطيب دايما يبقى جزاؤه ألام وخداع؟ ليه الحب الصادق لازم تبقى نهايته فراق وداع؟ قولي عملت لقلبك ايه؟ انا ما ظلمتش، تظلم ليه؟ ليه بتسيبني في نار وعذاب؟ ارسم الف امل كذاب. ليه تكسرني وبتهزمني وبتجرحني وبتقسمني وبتجبرني وبتلزمني عهدك وما توفيش بعهود؟ ليه 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 ليه؟
Dear viewers, Nile TV is a very prominent channel. It has a very long history, and there have been hundreds of people that have been working throughout the years very hard to keep this channel up to its standard, to the approval of its viewers. We try very hard here on Nile TV International to focus on the international level, and we try to bring everything here to the viewers in a very credible form, in a very objective manner, and ethically speaking, when it comes to the environment on a friendly level between the colleagues, it is also very unique here in Nile TV International. So we do hope that you do enjoy Nile TV Memory, where we will be bringing you every week, shedding back on the different programs that took place throughout its very long outstanding years, and the different aspects that have been covered here for the past very long years. Thank you very much for watching.